Google spends billions of dollars every year maintaining their maps, yet in many parts of the world, their imagery is months, if not years, out of date. I can't tell you how many times I've looked up a street view image of a house or apartment I wanted to rent, only to realize when I actually arrived that the images told a very different story from reality. Take this road in Romania. Google's image shows a desolate, single-lane road cutting through empty fields. But visit today, and you'll find a modern, two-lane road complete with power lines and a new house. Or look at this street outside Lisbon. Google's snapshot was captured in 2014, nearly a decade ago. In a world that is constantly changing, why are we still relying on maps that are years behind reality? This isn't just an inconvenience. Outdated maps affect millions of people every single day. Think about a logistics company like UPS, who transports billions of packages worldwide. How much time do you think is wasted by their drivers trying to find the correct location to drop off a delivery? A delivery driver's primary resource is time, and every second wasted is not only a cost to the company, but also comes straight out of your pocket. Even more critical are the advanced driver assist systems in modern vehicles, which rely on precise, up-to-date maps to navigate safely. As we move closer to fully autonomous vehicles, accurate information about road conditions, construction zones, and traffic signs becomes a matter of public safety. These use cases have one thing in common. They require high-quality, up-to-date maps to function effectively. The root of our outdated maps lies in an outdated approach: centralized mapping. When one company tries to take it upon themselves to provide accurate, up-to-date imagery of the drivable world, they are signing on to an impossible task. Google Street View images are extremely high quality, but they rely on expensive, purpose-built vehicles costing hundreds of thousands of dollars each to drive all the roads of the world. Even if autonomous vehicles make this slightly cheaper, you still face the fundamental challenge of procuring and maintaining these specialized vehicles. Because of this enormous expense and logistical challenge, Google can only manage to capture imagery of roads every once in a while. Sure, major cities like Tokyo and San Francisco will get mapped more frequently due to higher demand. But if you think back to those examples from Portugal and Romania, you'd be lucky to find images of them from the past decade. Apple Maps, Waze, and Bing all face the same limitation. They also rely on specialized vehicles to capture fresh images. But they're even worse off than Google, who benefited from a massive head start. This raises an interesting question. Why should we rely on one tech company to provide street-level imagery for the entire planet? A decentralized approach has been attempted before. OpenStreetMap is an open-source mapping project that launched in 2004, allowing anyone to contribute to building their maps. OpenStreetMaps has its own limitations, though. Without street-level imagery or consistent quality control, its maps are often unreliable. Updates happen sporadically, depending on volunteer availability, resulting in patchy coverage and inconsistent quality. Instead of waiting for Google's specialized cars to drive by every few years, or depending on unreliable volunteer contributions, what if we could harness the millions of drivers who are already on these roads every day, and find a way to reward them for providing quality, global coverage? This is exactly what Hivemapper is doing, transforming ordinary drivers into mapmakers, and revolutionizing how we keep our maps up to date. Hivemapper's mission is bold but simple: create the world's freshest maps using high-quality imagery at a fraction of what Google spends on their Street View fleet. Their core insight was powerful. Millions of drivers already navigate the world's streets on a daily basis. Why not harness this existing network? But Hivemapper took this idea one step further. Instead of relying on volunteers like OpenStreetMap, they reward drivers with a cryptocurrency called Honey, giving them ownership in the network they're helping to build. When people pay to use Hivemapper's imagery, both Hivemapper and its drivers benefit.
There's all these cars every single day that are driving around. If you put a little camera on them, we reward you in our Honey token. It's a reward mechanism saying, like, look, you put in this effort, right, to build this map, to contribute and collect this data. Here's your reward for it.
But getting to that approach wasn't easy. Their journey to the right solution took several iterations. Hivemapper's first approach to crowdsource this effort was to have drivers use their smartphones as dash cams. Nearly everyone has a smartphone, which would make it easy to allow drivers to contribute to the network. But this approach quickly revealed a few major flaws. First, phones need precise mounting to capture usable imagery. No one wants to pay for photos of car hoods or the sky. And second, since drivers naturally want to take their phones with them when leaving their cars, they'd need to perfectly remount and set up their phones every single trip. Most drivers simply wouldn't put up with this daily hassle. Next, they tried third-party dash cams. This solved the mounting problem, install once and forget it. But they hit another wall. Manufacturers weren't interested in upgrading their APIs for a small mapping startup, and their GPS technology wasn't much better than smartphones. These failures led Hivemapper to a realization. They needed to control the entire experience. By designing and building their own dash cams, they could ensure high-quality imagery, precise GPS positioning, and seamless software integration. Drivers simply mount the device once and passively contribute to the map as they drive, earning honey rewards along the way. With the hardware problem solved, Hivemapper faced their next hurdle: how to pay their growing network of drivers. They didn't start off planning to use crypto. Hivemapper started with traditional payment methods, attempting to pay drivers in their local currencies. But this approach hit a wall when they tried to scale globally. To pay drivers worldwide, they would need to open bank accounts in every country they operate in, complete Know Your Customer verification for each driver, navigate different banking systems and regulations, and handle currency conversion and international transfer fees. All of this complexity to just send drivers a few dollars for their contributions wouldn't work. Hivemapper founder Ariel Seidman ended up reaching out to the founder of Helium, another crowdsourced project successfully using cryptocurrency to reward contributors. Through this connection, Seidman discovered how Solana's blockchain could eliminate these barriers by creating a seamless, global payment system for Hivemapper's drivers. The Honey token is at the heart of Hivemapper's ecosystem, creating a virtuous cycle between map contributors and consumers. Map consumers pay for Hivemapper services by buying tokens at a set price, while drivers earn these tokens by contributing quality imagery to the network. Using a burn and mint economic model similar to Helium's, Hivemapper burns a portion of the tokens when consumers pay for map access, and reissues a share back to contributors as rewards. This creates a powerful alignment. As demand for Hivemapper's services grows, the network becomes more valuable for everyone involved. But driving isn't the only way to earn Honey tokens. The network also rewards people who help train their map AI. Building accurate maps requires two essential components working together, like a body needs both eyes and a brain. Just as we need eyes to see and a brain to process what we're seeing, Hivemapper uses dashcams to capture imagery, while Map AI processes this raw data into useful map features. The AI automatically detects and positions objects like street signs, traffic signals, and road markings onto the map. However, AI isn't perfect. It needs humans to help it learn and improve. This is where map trainers come in. Through simple games, trainers verify that landmarks are labeled correctly, speed limits match actual signs, and imagery is accurately positioned. For their contributions, these trainers earn Honey tokens, creating another way for people to participate in building the world's freshest map. All of these contributions, from drivers capturing images to trainers improving the AI, enable Hivemapper to offer two powerful APIs that generate revenue for the network. The Map Image API provides access to fresh, street-level imagery from around the globe. Whether you're monitoring construction progress, assessing property conditions, or verifying delivery addresses, this API delivers up-to-date visual data of any location. For customers who need to track specific map features, the Map Features API provides precise data about road signs, traffic lights, turn restrictions, and other critical infrastructure. What makes these APIs truly compelling is their freshness. Hivemapper's data can be up to 50 times more current than Google Maps at a fraction of the price. Consider that many businesses pay Google millions of dollars annually for their mapping services. Uber alone paid Google $58 million over 3 years just to access their APIs. Hivemapper's pricing is straightforward. Customers purchase map credits at 2 cents each. For example, $1 buys 50 credits, which provides access to 1 kilometer of imagery from any given week. Map credits are purchased through a platform called Scout. Through Scout, customers can monitor specific locations for fresh, geolocated imagery with credits automatically deducted as new imagery becomes available. As new imagery is provided for monitored locations, credits are deducted from their account. But what happens when a customer needs imagery for a location that isn't currently covered or needs fresher data? This is where bursts come in. While most mapping occurs passively as drivers go about their regular routines, bursts allow customers to request specific coverage. By paying an additional fee, customers can direct mappers to capture imagery of particular areas. A portion of this fee, goes directly to drivers who fulfill these targeted mapping requests. Through this combination of Scout's monitoring system, targeted bursts, and their powerful APIs, Hivemapper provides businesses and consumers with the fresh, accurate mapping data they need, when and where they need it. The results speak for themselves. In just 2 years, Hivemapper mapped 10 million unique miles globally, a milestone that took Google Street View an entire decade to achieve. At this rate, Hivemapper is growing 5 times faster than Google, already providing coverage for over 25% of the globe. While this is a remarkable achievement, a network is only valuable if people are willing to pay for it. Hivemapper has already secured some impressive customers, including 3 of the top 10 global mapmakers. One of these is Here Technologies, which provides mapping content to nearly every global auto manufacturer, supporting everything from basic navigation to advanced driving assistance and EV automated driving systems. Here and Hivemapper share the same strategic vision for where mapping is heading: intelligence at the edge. Beyond mapmakers, Hivemapper's customer base spans multiple industries, including logistics companies, insurers, and real estate investors. While exact revenue figures aren't public, we can track demand through Honey token burns, which occur with every map credit purchase. This steady, upward trajectory of burn tokens tells a compelling story. Hivemapper isn't just growing, this is only the beginning. In just a few years, Hivemapper has revealed a new vision for mapping's future. Their success isn't about competing with Google on technology alone. Instead, they've fundamentally reimagined who should own and maintain our world's maps. The world's streets aren't just traveled by specialized mapping vehicles once every few years. They're traveled by millions of people every day. Delivery drivers, commuters, and rideshare operators navigate these streets daily. Hivemapper harnesses this powerful network to put the power of mapmaking in their hands, transforming every drive into an opportunity to build something bigger than themselves: the world's freshest maps. The question isn't whether we need better maps, it's who should build them. And while you might still use Google or Apple Maps to navigate today, tomorrow's maps won't be built by tech giants with billion-dollar fleets. They'll be built by all of us, one drive at a time. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in staying up to date on the most exciting companies and innovations of our era, please consider subscribing to our channel.